Good morning. Welcome to Websites for Beginners. It is a chilly, little bit drizzly morning here in lockdown country. Well, one of many across the world. And it's a very nice morning for Chris Christopherson this morning. Puts me kind of in that mood. Isolation, rain, and focus on what is in front of you. I am JP, and in this video, we're taking a theme focus look. And we do this sometimes. We look at a theme. You know, WordPress, the cornerstone of what built WordPress and made it so popular where it is today is probably themes. And there are still so many themes on the market. I guess over 10,000 easily plus. Most of them outdated, I would say. A lot of them haven't seen a little bit of new code in a very, very long time. But there are quite a number still on the market and new ones coming out that try to make use of all the new features that comes with the updates in WordPress. Now, the one that I'm looking at this morning is from the team over there at TemplateMonster. They are a collection of various products. You can go to their marketplace. Let me just quickly show you here a little bit about Team TemplateMonster and get my screen to go back to normal size. You can go check them out. They really have hundreds of products there. Ready-made themes, which basically gives you a ready-made website. And I think that's the most important thing when it comes to many of these themes. When you see there's a price to it, you wonder, why is there a price to it? I thought WordPress is free. Yes, WordPress is free, but you're paying for someone to design it, put it together, come up with an idea, concept, and also some extra plugins, usually some add-ons, which you, if you had purchased them individually, they may have cost you more than the theme. And that's why these theme packages are still so popular. And one reason they work so well is when you work with a client. If you have somebody that comes to you and says, let me look here, what do we have over here? I want to set up a nice blogging site. And you say, oh, okay, here's one for blogging. Then you just tell them, hey, I'm going to charge you this much. You go download this, you change the images, you change the text, and voila, you got a website for your client. So go check them out, link in the description below. And I would say, I think it is an affiliate link. I'm not 100% sure. But just in case you buy something from there, just take into consideration, I may get something, but you are not paying anything extra for that. The one we are looking at today is Gutenberry. And the reason why I had decided with TemplateMonster to look at Gutenberry is because it's a WordPress blog. Everything in there is WordPress with Gutenberg editor add-ons. And seeing it this month and next few weeks, I'm looking at mostly just what can you do with WordPress and what comes with WordPress. This is an ideal theme for it. And what I like about this, again, that word minimalist. It's clean and it is uncluttered. It's very easy to use, install, and then you have great number of layouts, and we'll go through these in a very short time. Then you also get extra add-ons for the theme, which you can use within the WordPress editor, the Guten plugin for extra content. And I'm not sure which accent I just did there, but it sounded where I have a Z and an E at the beginning. I need to do an accent for that. Right, so what you do is when you go to the website, and the link in the description below, you just click there and you can see there's a lot of extra add-ons that you can add here if you are totally useless with this. If you are charging someone a lot of money for their site, you can just come here and let the guys at TemplateMonster do everything for you, and you sit back and ka-ching, ka-ching. Wish it was that easy, right? Wish it was that easy. Let's go delve into Gutenberry and see what Gutenberry is all about. And I think we need to start off by saying Gutenberry is perfect for blogging. That's the whole purpose of this theme. It focuses on blogging, and it's very clean, it's uncluttered, it's very minimalist. So if you want to have a very straightforward blogging site, and this one is presented very elegantly, but you can change it to your heart's content, then Gutenberry is the way to go. We have here a number of home pages that you can choose from. And what does that mean? Well, if you have a number of home pages, these are ready-made pages by Gutenberry, and they change a few things. They will change the heading, how the header displays, and they will change maybe how the content displays, as well as maybe your footer and other things on the page. So all you need to do, because it's a blogging site, you don't actually touch the home page, because the home page in a way becomes your archive page. We are currently on the Crystal version of this homepage, and we can go and cycle a little bit through the others. So I've already opened them. This is Mauve or Mauve. I never know how to pronounce this. I'll have to go to Google after this and Google Translate tell me how to pronounce this. So what you see here is now we have this full width and full color in the background compared to this. Also have a look at how the header up here has changed. Our logo has moved to the center and we have our menu on the left. Next is Azure. Azure changes the color scheme again. We have block content, so it's not full width. And now we have the same header like we had at the beginning. So you play around with these, you mix and match, and you bring in your various content. Also have a look at how the footer changes from Azure, same for Mauve, and then on Crystal, the main display, you have it centered. Next one is Lavender, which looks to me a little bit rosy, but it's called Lavender. Again, we have this full display here, but a change in the header, and then we have blogging here at the bottom. So each one a little bit different, and then Nude displays your posts on the front end for you in a listing format. And then you have again the center aligned of the logo at the top, and I'm pretty sure, not pretty sure, I'm totally wrong. Your footer isn't center aligned, it's to the left. There's one more, I think it's Obsidian. Ooh, Obsidian. I'm just watching the animation a little bit of the video. So it's very different. You have a video background and your header at the top overlays it. So you have a transparent header in this case. You can see also a lot of differences in how the posts display on the front with maybe a little bit of background. How do you work then with these 6 versions that you have of a home page? Because essentially at the end of the day, you only have one home page. So what you will do, if you were now going through these and you said, okay, I like Lavender. Lavender is a good home page. You go back into the back end, you will go to Pages, and you will go look for Lavender. And this is how you work with these pre-designed themes. And you click on Lavender, and once you go into the editor, from here, you will bring in all your content that you want to paste on this front page. So if you want to change the image, you're going to do that. But you will have to remember that one of the things here is that we have the Zeguten. Zeguten or Zeguten, we have those plugins here. If you go to the blocks at the top and we collapse this, you will see it's here at the bottom. And then all these plugins appear over here. I think these guys actually had ownership change, or I'm not sure. So from here, a lot of these blocks have been composed and designed around those blocks because they bring in extra functionality that the WordPress basic standard blocks do not do. Does not do. I'm not sure. Did I use a plural or a singular there? And then as you go through this page, you will make changes where you want to bring in new content or where you want to change things. And then here at the very bottom, you have control over how this page displays. This comes from your theme, and you will make settings here to the theme over here. So the first thing you will do is you will go and change the content of the Lavender page. And after you've done that, you click on Update. But now that's very important. As you're building out your site, you go to Settings and you go to Reading. And then here where it says your homepage displays, you select Lavender. And you may change the name Lavender. You're probably going to call it Home later. But now when I click on Save Pages, it's going to display Lavender as my homepage in the future. So if I go to Gutenberry, I click up here, Lavender is by default my homepage. And that's how you work with these pre-made pages and blocks. So we've gone through the pages. Let's go have a look at the block. And this is our archive page. There are a number of layouts for this as well, and pre-made block archive pages that you can choose from. If you hover over block, you see there's listing, listing small, listing grid, and block post. And currently we're looking at listing classic. So the idea is you have a sidebar on the right with all your widgets in there. And there are quite a number of widgets in here to make you happy and make navigation around your site very easy. Whereas on many static pages, if you go to company websites or corporate websites or motivational speakers, those kind of new things, life coaches, never heard of it, but now it appears that everyone is a life coach. You do not usually find sidebars on those pages because It's just content, and the life coach wants you to phone them so that they can charge you. But when it comes to a blog, it's similar to a library and an index. You want people to be able to navigate around the site very, very easily. And that's why you will find on your archive pages a sidebar. It's a good idea to have a sidebar there, even if you go for this very clean approach to your site. So let's have a look. This is the classic, listing large. So you have a huge featured image over here, some metadata, and then a read more down here. You then also have the option to remove the sidebar. That's normal. So this is how it will display without the sidebar. But again, my thinking here is that if you're going for a blog, that sidebar is kind of important. The other one, let's see, listing small. So this is classic. I really like this as well with the sidebar. And I'm not going to show you every time now how it looks without the sidebar, but you have that option to disable the sidebar each and every time. Go to the next one. This is listing larger. Let me just check listing without sidebar. This is listing grid large. I'm a big grid fan, and I like this, especially again, if you have nice complementary images like this with nice color themes going on, then it looks really good on your site. You have pagination at the bottom. Go to your other pages. Very, very well done. And it gives you a very good idea of what you can do with Gutenberry if you want to bring up your blog site. We had looked at that one, which was a large listing grid. Let's look at a smaller listing grid. And typically, what you are seeing here, as I'm showing you these different ways how you can display it, this is in many cases what you pay for when you go for a packaged theme, is that the theme developers sit down and they come up with a concept. I want to make Gutenberry, and my target market for Gutenberry is this audience group. And with that, what kind of layouts would they prefer in their blogs? I think they would like this kind of one. And then let me just go back to the number 1 page. I think they would like this, but some may prefer something a little bit smaller. And they do the testing. That's very important when they are asking that money off you, that they make sure that this thing will look good on both a desktop, a tablet device, and a mobile device. And that was the listing grid. So you have large and this one small. Let's have a look at the single post. Now, a single post is if I click on one of these, it opens the single post. We go into that. And this is how the standard single post will display. You have your title here at the top, metadata over here, and then your featured image here. And then you can bring in all those blocks to build it out, and you can really create very, very nice looking single posts with Gutenberry. Again, you have the sidebar here, and again, I would say probably if your focus is to go into blogging, this sidebar is pretty important, but like always, you can deactivate it. Let's go have a quick look at what's going on inside this post so you can wrap your head around how you would build out a single post within Gutenberry. This is still one of those things about WordPress editor. What you see in the back is not how it displays on the front. We are used to that. That is the drawback to a backend editor, but have to remember that WordPress gives you all these tools that you can play around with, and Gutenberry does a very, very nice job at that. So in most cases here, when you look at it, these are going to be paragraphs, and this is going to be the heading element, those standard blocks that come with WordPress. Over here is a pull quote. It's also standard coming with WordPress. So nothing here is done with fancy and overboard blocks. These are basic blocks and very nice color scheme here on the right. These things you can go change in the customizer. And then as you go through it, you make changes here. And remember, go to your document to change your featured image over here. And then if you go and preview it on the front, this is how your page will display. Let's have a look at the theme settings for the page at the bottom. We have header, header overlay, header invert, and layout overlay. Let's go into the customizer while we're in the single post to see what we can do in terms of customization for Gutenberry, the WordPress blogging minimalist WordPress site. I think I repeated a few of those. Because this is a blogging site, you will probably spend a lot of time here in blog settings. All of these are also very important, like the color scheme. I like the fact that you can go and set these colors, and then those colors will be present as you are editing it. It's one of the things that I find a big drawback in many themes is that the colors in the theme does not match the colors that you are using in the editor. Let's go to the blog settings over here, and then you have the blog, you have the post, and I think what they mean by blog is your archive. So here you have all those options that we've looked at, listing at grid, and then how the images and the sizes, whether it's large or not. And then if we go over here to our post, let me go post, this is what you can include here within this post. And there you go. The last few things that we can look at here is just your typography, how you're going to play around with styling, but this is actually nothing spectacular when it comes to any WordPress site. You should have all of this included for your various typography settings and how it will display. So if you just want to have an idea of how the block quotes, the ordered list, and all of those things will look, you can go over here to blog post, and look on typography. The contact page, again, this is a pre-made page. Mr. Ponderous thinking about the world and the condition we are in currently. Take off my glasses later and turn and look at the duck in the back. Yeah, I like this photo. Right, so this is the About page. Nathan Barry, good morning to you, Nathan Barry. I'm a creator, author, speaker of Editsum. I cannot help but reading that. I just want to bring in that radio voice. And again, you have this pre-made page and you have a second one. You can probably put Nathan Barry over here, looking to the left, exit stage right. And then the last page that is pre-designed is the Contact Me page. Let's jump into the backend and have a quick overview of what is going here. After you have purchased Gutenberry from TemplateMonster, you will naturally upload it by yourself to your themes. So you will go to Add New and you will upload it over here. Then you will import the plugins wizard and the demo content, and this will help you set up the entire site. And this is a very, very easy process. As you go through the plugins wizard, it will ask you to install it, and you just go through this process. And once you get to the end, it will ask you for the demo content. And again, a very, very simple procedure. You just simply click on Install Demo, and then you will get all the content that I have just shown you. And from that, you can choose which ones you want to use or which ones you do not want to use. And of course, here you have the View Demo. It will take you to that as well. The tools that come with this, of course, is Zeguten, the extra add-ons for the Gutenberg editor. And if we go to our plugins and we have a look at what we've got here, there's a little bit more. You can ignore that one. Easy Updates Manager is mine. I disabled updating to WordPress 5.4 at this moment. So the rest of it is the Jet Data Importer, and that is your plugins wizard and your demo content that's going to bring it in with the Jet Data Importer and the Jet Plugins Wizard. Then you have MailChimp for WordPress here combined with WP Subscribe, which allows you to set up your forms within Gutenberry so it easily can import all those people who subscribe into MailChimp for you. And then we have Zeguten for Gutenberg also here. Great stuff. So give Gutenberry a view. Go over there to TemplateMonster. Check them out, what they've got to offer. Go through what Gutenberry has to offer, and if anybody approaches you or yourself want to go into blogging, want to start off with something very simple and clean, Gutenberry comes highly recommended, and it's very easy to set up, very easy to use. You can also check out all those other themes over there at TemplateMonster. And that brings us to the end of this theme focus. I would say, looking at Gutenberry, I enjoyed it. I am not into blogging at all. I tried it way back when and I just couldn't continue with it. I'm one of those people that started off and I wrote 1 or 2 huge blogs for 2 days, and then I didn't know what to say anymore, and I just couldn't get myself to repeat myself. So I know it takes a special kind of skill to be very good at blogging. I really take my hat off to people who sit down every day and dedicate themselves to writing blogs. I would say Gutenberry then, especially for people who want to keep journals, and I'm thinking in terms of a diary, not so much maybe a travel blog or a recipe blog, but for a journal diary, Gutenberry comes highly recommended. Have a great day. Stay safe where you are. Remember to subscribe to us, give us some love, and see you in the next video. This is JP signing off here at Websites for Beginners.